Chaturanga Dandasana is one of those poses that people love to do because it does help you get stronger. However, if not done carefully or mindfully, it can cause some shoulder injury. So I'm going to go through 3 things that you can keep in mind when you're practicing your chaturanga, or even what people might call a yoga push-up, to help you practice and get even stronger than you are now. Okay, so the first thing that I notice people do is that they just track their elbows and their whole body straight back. But in fact, it's actually the opposite. So what I often see is people just bring their elbows back and then they plop down to the ground. Instead, we actually bring the sternum forward and slowly lower down so the shoulders are in line with the elbows and the wrists at a 90-degree angle. But that's really hard to do and takes time. So one thing you can do to make sure that you're tracking forward is to put your knees down if you feel like you can't keep your chest, your belly, your shoulders, and elbow in one line. So with knees back and down, leaning forward, lower the shoulders down, and holding that position is a really good way to practice that. Another thing that is a common occurrence is people rounding their shoulders down. And so here's where you get to put in your inner Superman. Let's say Spider-Man actually. So you have to put your inner Spider-Man on. What does that mean? Instead of rounding forward like this, whoosh, you put on your inner superhero power. Open up your chest and keep this, shoulders back and down. What does that look like when you're practicing? Well, instead of coming down into chaturanga like this, inner Spider-Man, whoosh, and then sternum forward, lower down, keeping your shoulders in good scaffolding. To help you practice that and feel like what it needs to do, you can take 2 blocks. You have to, of course, measure the height of your forearm. For me, the highest height works. Place your hands behind the blocks, and then you'll lower your shoulders slowly towards the blocks, trying to keep your shoulders off the blocks the whole time. Okay, so inner Spider-Man, whoosh, shoulders back and down, lower down, shoulders hover right above the blocks, and then you come up from there. You can always put your knees down to practice yourself getting stronger as you go through that. This is really hard. It's not easy to do. And sometimes it's nice just to get honest with ourselves and see where we are with our strength level with that. The last thing that I often see people do is their belly flops towards the ground like, I don't know, like a floppy beached whale. And so we all get to put on our inner corset. Now, I know some of us like to wear corsets, but ideally, our core is its own corset. And so that means lifting your belly away from the floor as you lower down. Instead of chaturanga looking like this, it's inner corset. Core is on and tight. Putting it all together, sternum forward, shoulders are going to track in line with the elbows, shoulders lower down to elbow height with your inner Spider-Man, and then corset of your own core is on. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. There are so many ways we can approach this and talk about, but these are 3 of the main things I think would really help you get stronger with good alignment. Have a good day, guys.